Hello, Scorpio. It is time for your weekly reading, July 1st to 7th, 2021. I have my window open and the birds are tweeting madly, so I am sorry if they're bothersome, but it's kind of stuffy here, so I have to have the window open. And let's just hope for the best and bear with them. I honestly cannot stand birds, especially these kind. It's all like crows and seagulls and stuff like that. They drive me a little wacky, but what can I do? Nature and all that stuff, right? It's part of life. So, I hope you're all having a great week. Let's see what we can come up with for you. Queen of Swords, she keeps coming up for everybody. It's really quite interesting. I don't usually get her so often, but this week she seems to be like the theme of the day. Wow, lots of people in your reading. Lots of court cards. This is a really court card heavy reading. That is very interesting. So let's deal with our little people here first, because we've got our wonderful Emperor here. That's fantastic. But let's do, we've got King of Pentacles and then we've got, okay, so let's start with these guys first. So we've got the Queen of Swords. She is, now these can be people who are coming in. Sorry about the noise. Oh my gosh, I don't know what's happening out there. It sounds like the most massive truck or maybe a race car. We've got the Queen and King of Swords. So this can often be a couple. Often when these two appear, it's a couple. So both of them are sort of intellectual types. If they're not like super intelligent, at least they are always on a path of learning and always trying to sort of find the truth. They don't like a lot of BS, either one of them. They are quite practical. The king tends to be, I don't want to say more powerful, but very, very decisive. She's pretty darn decisive too, actually. They are practical. Practical, practical, practical. They don't like a lot of flowery language. They don't like people meandering around, not being decisive like they are. They are on a path of doing certain things, and they tend to do it. They will be very cut and dried in their language often. People perceive them as being quite cold sometimes because they won't, you know, pander to your needs in language. And when I say that, I mean things like, if you don't want to hear the real truth, do not ask one of these two if what you're wearing looks good, because they'll tell you if it doesn't. So they are both a Libra, an Aquarius, or a Gemini, an air sign. So when I see them together as a couple, and they're one of the few sets of court cards that come up together as a couple more than the other ones do for me. So they could actually be a couple. So this is your week. Somebody could be coming in, a new couple for you to know, or maybe it's your parents, maybe it's a set of your friends. I'm not sure. You'll all have different experiences. So then we've got the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is either a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. He is very strong and kind of set in his ways. He's slow moving. He likes to invest in things. He doesn't mind if it takes a lot of time for the thing to mature. He's quite content with that. They tend to be financially stable. They're very into the body. Earth signs like the body. They protect their health usually. They like things that are tangible, physical things. They're physical people. They like physical things. So he might be perceived as not moving very quickly, but they're very strong. They love to plan things out. So if you need a planner on your side, this is your guy. So that's our court cards. Now, when I said all these people, It's kind of dark in here, so I can't really see everything perfectly, but we've got another couple, a very important couple, the Empress and the Emperor. These are a couple of very special power cards. The Emperor represents strong, decisive authority. You might be dealing with somebody like that. The card represents Aries. You might be dealing with somebody of this nature or some entity that is very authoritative that you have to be very strong with this week. Or sometimes the Emperor comes in when we need sort of a friend on our side who's very strong. Maybe you're in a situation where you're a little wishy-washy. Maybe one of your friends is kind of talking over you or not taking your wants or needs into consideration, and you've been kind of nice about it. Well, just think about the Emperor and don't take any crap from anybody, because you don't have to. You are a strong and happening person. You do not have to let people walk all over you. Always remember that. And then you've got the beautiful Empress. If you want to have a baby, this is the best card to get. The Empress is all about giving birth to things on the planet. And that is exciting and wonderful. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be giving birth to a company, giving birth to a project. You want to write a book. You're going to bring the book into the world. Maybe you need the Empress to give you that little boost, because she is what makes things happen. And she represents fertility, and it can be fertility of you as a person, but it can also be the fertility of ideas, which is very, very exciting. She's contentment and fertility and earthiness and a connection to earth. It's just a beautiful, beautiful card. Exciting. Oh, and I did have another court card. Thought I did. And it's the beautiful, beautiful Page of Cups. So you, Scorpio, are a water sign. And this little guy is a water sign, little guy or girl. You can never really tell with the pages. So, now unless you're very, very young, if you're a young adult, this card could represent you because you are a water sign. So, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And usually the pages represent children, teenagers, and very young adults, early 20s. Typically, I tend to think of them more as teenagers, but they can be kids or young adults. So this page is really fun. He's imaginative, very happy and loving and kind and humorous and just really positive, always learning about the world, has a little bit of a quirkiness, usually is interested in the arts. Somebody really, really fun. So if this is not you, if this is not your age range or whatever, it may be somebody you know, your child, your friend, your somebody who's a very fun water sign. So the rest of this reading is quite nice too. This is actually a really positive reading. Most of the readings I've done lately have a very, I shouldn't say a very negative undertone, but one of them they typically have at least one swords card, which are one of the negative ones, not the more positive swords cards. Things like the 8 of swords, the 10 of swords. The 10 of swords is a really sad card, and so is the 3 of swords. So those are coming up constantly right now. So you don't have any of that. And also everybody seems to be getting the death card, which means great change typically. And I'm not saying you're not going to go through great change. You may well, but you may have been functioning in a somewhat normal way throughout the past year, in which a lot of people were having a lot of trauma. So that's a good thing. So we've got this card, the 5 of Wands. This is a card that I always get if anybody's engaged in any kind of martial arts or, combative stuff like any kind of a war game kind of thing like people do in the service. This card will come up for that. So I always like to sort of do that as a disclaimer before I tell you that it often means arguing. I mean, I know I said the cards are positive, but arguing is not the end of the world. I mean, maybe it's to get something accomplished, because sometimes that's why we're arguing. So I'm sure you'll know what this is about. Then we've got this wonderful card. The Eight of Wands is something is coming in fast and furious, very exciting, fast, 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 swift motion. And so this is a very exciting card. It's very active, action, action, action. I happen to love this card. It's a great card. Sometimes we call it the arrows of love because it's often a love relationship that just sweeps you off your feet and takes over everything and is amazing. So maybe the love relationship is with one of your people here. That is always a possibility. So then we've got this card, which is all about, sorry, I keep looking at everything just to make sure because it's rather dark in here. So this is a card of working toward your goals, and it's the card of the worker, honing your skills, improving on what you're doing, you know, taking steps to invest in the future. It's a good card. Sometimes it's not always fun because you are working away to get to where you want to go. But that's okay. You're on the right path. This is a very happy reading, very strong. Don't forget your Emperor. He's there to help you out if you're feeling weak ever. And then to finish it off, we've got the beautiful Three of Cups. The beautiful, happy celebration of the Three of Cups. People dancing and holding up a glass and having a toast and having a beautiful time together. This is a happy, exciting card. This is a happy, exciting reading, and you, my darling Scorpios, deserve it. So have a wonderful week ahead. Go off into the world and have a good time. I hope you have a nice, beautiful, sunny beginning of July. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.